Hello, Jim Weaver here of Qigong Weaver. I really wanted to put out an impromptu on in the moment video about Lunar Qigong. I did recently for the summer solstice a solar Qigong, and now I wanted to enrich it by making a Lunar Qigong video. I'll be introducing some practices for Lunar Qigong in this video that you can follow along with, get some ideas for your own practice. And really what it is a culmination of several different moon practices that you can do in Qigong that help to facilitate tuning into the lunar force and using that Qi and facilitating it in Qigong and in alchemy and meditation and so forth. And the moon, like the sun, very, very important to stay in touch with the lunar cycle, the lunar energy, and how that energy affects you daily. The moon is very different from the sun in the sense that it's much more of a yin energy, much more of a yin force, inward, downward, cooling, feminine force. Now, depending on who you talk to, when and where, there's also yang hidden within the moon. The yang is hidden inside the moon like a seed. So the moon is like a womb for the yang energy. You need to develop that yin energy to fully develop, to build the yang within. You have to build up that force. Moon is also used in a lot of alchemical imagery and symbolism to symbolize the feminine force, the cooling, watery force. It's like the sun. It's used in a lot of different ways depending on where and when you're looking for those symbols. I basically tend to view the moon most of the time as feminine, although I have picked up masculine energies from it. And it doesn't matter, male, female, don't worry too much about that. It's really more tuning into the basic fundamental force, which I have found to be a yin force. And it's very much connected with the kidneys, the door of life, which is located just behind the navel and the spine, straight back from the navel in the spine, called the door of life or the Ming Men, and the kidneys directly. The kidneys store what's called the Jing force, also the ancestral force in the body. Very, very important to keep this healthy, to keep it alive, active, moving, flowing, but also peaceful, watery energy, to have the mind calm down into those waters, to drop down into it. It's a downward force. You want to really allow yourself to let the gravity drop you down into that area of the body and into the earth, and use that moon force to bathe yourself in that yin energy, to soothe, to nurture. A lot of these practices are skipped over nowadays. Like, for instance, in yoga, the moon is connected with the soma energy, which is, again, that nurturing, watery force for allowing things to gently relax, open up, to soak up that yin energy. So much is emphasizing the fiery, the hot, the active, the fitness craze, and so forth. Not taking the time to slow down, to drop the mind, allow the emotions to cool off, go down deep into the bones, into the kidneys, into the lower dantian, and allow that energy to soak through all your cells. If you'll notice, plants respond to the moon. They're a perfect symbol for Qigong, trees and plants. without the moon energy, they wouldn't survive. You've got to allow that nurturing energy to soak through you every now and then. We really, really need it. Again, very important to tune into the moon. Go out on a full moon, 3 days before, 3 days after. Any time within that week is a good time to soak up the moon energy. Moon energy is important to have all the time, but really we want to emphasize that balance between the sun and the moon when the moon is full is the ideal time because it's fully activating that lunar force. New moon time, it's a good time with that dark moon to really go within, to go deep. It's almost like a winter solstice time for the moon, when it really, the energy just drops into that dark gap, that dark void during the dark moon, and go within. Better for a very still inward practice, a quiet time, alone, if you can, in a sacred space. Go within and just allow yourself to drop into that dark moon energy. Very nurturing, very powerful. If you can do that, highly recommended. But full moons are good in groups, by yourself also. More active moon energy outwardly. So it's a good time to pull in that lunar force to go out and do your practice. Barefoot out on the earth is best. That's the ideal way and time to practice. Doesn't matter though, you can do it indoors. You can do it actually anytime really to tune into lunar force. We're always under the influence of the moon because it's so close to the earth, always revolving and changing around the earth. If you can catch that tide of the moon waxing for your Qigong practice, very beneficial. Waning is better for dropping deeper into meditation as the moon drops down, as it begins to wane down into the new moon. Better to cool, calm down, be a little more still with each phase if you can. In Taoist alchemy, they have what's called the firing times, and they're charted to the moon as the moon waxes and then the moon wanes. But that's a very complex subject. I'm not going to go into that with this simple video. But I'll go ahead and I'll take you through this practice. And again, keep it simple. Keep it light. Keep it easy, joyful. Very important to maintain that attitude of joy during the practice. Keep that happiness alive. Practice being happy. It's great practice. I highly recommend it. And soon you'll start feeling it all the time. So I'll go ahead and take you through that now, the practice itself. And basically what you want to do is, if you can, of course I said outdoors is best if you can. You don't have to do it outdoors. You can do it indoors or any time or any place that you have a chance. Shoes off if you can, comfortable. Dress warm if you're outside in the air, in the environment. You want to be comfortable, very, very important. You want your feet about shoulder width apart or wider if that's comfortable, closer if that's more comfortable. Again, ease in the practice is very important. And basically, I always start all my practices and with all my students with 3 palms together. Very easy practice. What we're going to do is just stand, rock on the earth a little bit, feel your roots reaching down into the earth from beneath your feet, from the bubbling spring points, if you can. Don't worry about it. If you don't feel anything, that's fine. But we want to really feel, get a sense for the feet and the leg bones moving down deep into the earth. Get that feeling of rootedness. Feel the gravity dropping you down, burying your feet, your ankles, your shins and knees deep down into the earth. And just feel that earth essence connecting like a grounding wire. Feel the earth. And we'll move into 3 palms together. You want to Feel like you're holding a ball in front of the lower dantian or the navel. Arms relaxed, shoulders relaxed and down. And I'm standing so that my back is straight but not stiff. And I'm tucking the tailbone in just a little bit, just to get that feeling of lengthening that lower area in the back. Not straining to hold it, not straining to do it, but just relaxed. Feel a string holding you up to the sky. And we're going to open up the palms. We're going to feel that energy between the two palms, breathing naturally. The breath is down here in the lower dantian. Try to breathe through the whole body, but in a relaxed way. We're not forcing anything. And we're going to pull the palms apart. Pull the palms apart and feel that magnetic pull between the palms. We're going to bring the hands up. And as the hands up, the thumbs come up, index, the middle, the ring finger. And we're just going to bring the palms up towards each other, just above the head, in front of and above the head. So the middle fingers touch. And with the middle fingers touching, palms come together. We're going to drop the arms and the shoulders down. And we're going to feel energy pouring through the crown, the energy of heaven pouring down, right through our core. Dropping it right down into the earth, right down into our bellies. Going for round 2. This is just the opening movement. Fingers open up. Breathing is natural. Middle fingers touch. Palms come gently together. And I'm just barely holding my palms touching. Real light touch. Almost like two magnets coming lightly together. Pouring the chi down through the core of the body. Let it pour down, opening the chi. Fingers open up one by one. Again, palms come together. We do it 3 times, 3 palms together, which can be done on its own. It's its own Qigong form. Pouring it down. And we're going to see the moon in front of us. Ideally, the moon will be rising in front of you. Rising time is best for this practice. When the moon's just coming up over the horizon, we're going to see the moon. We're going to look at it. Start to feel the forehead and the crown opening. Again, connect with your roots. You can open up the hands towards the earth. And we're just going to get that feeling for that moonlight coming in, pouring down through you and down into the earth. You're rooting the lunar qi down into the earth, right down through your roots, right down through your tailbone. You can see your tailbone growing very long, like we call it the dragon's tail, down into the earth. And that moon energy is just pouring through like a waterfall, all the way down into the earth, through your feet, through your palms. And you can, over time, if you do this practice often enough, begin to feel this magnetic current in the hands connecting with the earth. The moon and the earth are very connected energetically. They go together very well, complementary forces. And even with the solar practice, we want to have that earth energy to ground the energy. Very, very important. And just breathe that energy down and through. Relax the belly. Breathe through the belly. We're connecting with the earth. And we're going to bring the palms up towards the moon now. Right towards the full moon. Preferably the full moon or a waxing moon. And we're going to feel the third eye open. We're going to feel the palms open. And we're just going to draw. We're going to attract that moon energy right in. Pull it right in. Now I'm drawing in the earth force. Drawing it in. Pouring it in through the forehead. Washing it down through the body. Washing the moon energy right down through all the organs. Down through the bones. Down into the earth. Again, reaching up. Pulling the moon energy in. pulling the moon energy in, washing it down, washing it down. Hands come up again, pulling the moon energy in, washing it down. And now what we're going to do is we're going to turn around. We're going to have our Ming Men face the moon. And basically, Ming Men is straight behind the navel, straight in the back, in the spine. And we're going to pull the moon itself right into the Ming Men. Grab the orb of the moon. And we're going to pull it right into the Ming Men. Feel it radiating out to the kidneys. Pull the moon in. Pull the lunar force in. And you want to take your time doing this if you have a chance. If you have a few minutes, you can do it quickly if you like. Pull it in. We're going to wash the kidneys with the moon. Wash the whole lower back with the moon, the sacrum. Breathe the moonlight into the sacrum. And we're breathing a combination of earth and moon right into the sacrum. And you can also pull in the moonlight right through the medulla oblongata, or right where the neck meets the skull. Right at that doorway. We're going to pull the moonlight in. Draw it in, breathe it in so it flows down the spine. Joins up with the Ming Men and the lower dantian. Pull it in, the moonlight. And then come back around. One more time, pull it from the front. And we're going to pull all that moonlight in, down to the lower dantian. And then just open the palms to the sides, facing outward toward the full moon. And feel like you're holding the moon, just like you're holding it. And just feel yourself absorbing it through all the cells of your body, feeling it spreading out through all your bones, tissues, and cells. Smile to the moon. Very important. Welcome the lunar force in. And again, with these practices, you can take as long as you like. The more time, the better. You're going to get a much richer experience. But if you don't have a lot of time, just a few minutes. And just feel the moonlight coming in and pulsing through all your limbs, your cells, your organs, your bones, your nervous system. Cooling, soothing everything off like cream on a hot burn, like butter on a hot burn. Cooling it off, taking the heat, congestion out, and letting it flow into the earth. We're going to drop it again down into the earth. Down into the earth. Breathe it down into the earth. Out through your feet, out through your tail, out through the dragon's tail. Wash it down. Give it to the earth. And just again, feel that moon shining through the whole body. Smile again to the moon. And when you've done this for a while, again, tune into the earth. You just feel the waves of lunar and earth energy. And you're standing in a lake of moon earth energy. And just wash everything in it. Feel the waves pulsing. And bring those waves into the lower dantian beneath the navel. And just see the moon shining bright, a full moon shining in the lower dantian. Smile to it. All the energy collecting there now. Just breathe the moon there for a few minutes. Smile to it down in the lower dantian. And you might get sensations in the palm points, the third eye, the heart center, the lower dantian, the perineum. You want to breathe with the perineum. So as you breathe in, you're pulling up, just tightening the perineum just slightly, just a little bit. And as you exhale, releasing it. We want to pulse that earth moon energy in, just to activate that lower gate. Again, breathing through the sacrum, breathing through the kidneys, through the lower dantian, through the Ming Men, that whole lower region of the body, pulsing and breathing the lunar earth energy. One palm over the other, over the navel or lower dantian. Circle 9 times clockwise. We're sealing in the energy. We want to save that energy. Counterclockwise 9 times. See that energy gathering like water flowing down a sinkhole. Gathering up, and finish up counterclockwise 9 times. And don't worry about going in the right direction. We really just want to feel that energy in the lower dantian gathering and condensing. And we finish with 3 palms together again, the opening closing sequence. Just gathering all the energies, consolidating, grounding, breathing, smiling. Finish up with 3 palms. Honor the moon. Pay tribute to the moon for everything that it does. It does a lot more than we think it does. That's the practice, Lunar Qigong. And I hope you enjoyed that practice. I plan on putting out a video with solar and lunar Qigong. It'll be available. And enjoy the full moon. And it is at this time the Chinese Lunar Festival. Enjoy yourselves and have a good full moon.